Hi, this is Janice from Space to Relax, and the video you're about to watch is a replay of a live class I taught on Zoom. These classes are free of charge for everyone to join, so please invite your family and friends. They're suitable for beginners and those of you with more Qigong experience. If you're watching this video on YouTube, then please don't forget to hit the red subscribe button so that you don't miss any future videos from me. I hope you enjoy the class. Hi everyone, and you're very welcome to today's class. And this is the last Qigong class before Christmas time. And so I hope you've been enjoying the class, the weekly classes so far. I'm going to be taking a little break until probably the end of January because I'm going to be moving house. So I need some time to do that. But I'll be back at the end of January, so look out for emails from then. The other thing just to remind you of is this is your last chance if you would like to say thank you for these classes, which are free. There is no obligation to donate, but if you would like to, then 50% of the proceeds from the donations go towards the ICU intensive care staff in my local hospital. The other 50% go towards the upkeep of my website. And I'm going to be collecting just for the next week. I'll close the donations down next Thursday because I want to buy them a voucher so that they have it in time for Christmas. So if you've been enjoying these classes, then please donate and give them something nice for Christmas. And even if it's just €5, $5, it doesn't matter. It can be as small or as large an amount as you feel comfortable with. So thanks so much for that in advance. Today's class is all about how to use Qigong in order to improve our bladder health. And this was a request from one of my Space to Relax members. And at the beginning, I started kind of researching a little bit more around this. And she was specifically referring to leakage or incontinence or urgency of urination. And I was thinking at the beginning, well, that's kind of a women's thing. And I know that I have men who watch these classes and follow along with them. But then when I started to research it, I found a document which said that over 33 million people in just America alone would suffer with urinary or bladder incontinence. And so in the UK and in Ireland, where I live, I'd say that figure is pretty high as well. And interestingly, it was the figures in terms of the male-female split were 30% of men and 70% of women, roughly speaking. So these were American figures. So in terms of who is affected and how bladder incontinence can arise, it can be caused by certain drugs, certain medications. It can also be caused by anxiety. A lot of people find if they get anxious, then that can happen, or stress in terms of physical stress, like exercise or laughing or coughing suddenly. The other people who may be affected by urinary incontinence are men who've undergone prostate surgery or women after giving birth to children. So there are actually quite a number of cases where urinary incontinence can arise, albeit temporarily for some people, but on a more chronic long-term basis for others. So what I want to show you today are a couple of exercises. One is a moving exercise and the other one is a meditation in order to help to improve the health of your bladder. And I think even if you don't suffer with this, then you can actually work with these exercises because they also benefit your kidney system, your lower back, and down the backs of your legs into your hamstrings. So they have a few more wide-ranging benefits as well. So for the first exercise, I'd like you to adopt a standing position. So stand with your feet shoulder width distance apart, feet are parallel, knees are slightly bent, and the pelvis is tucked just down, forwards and under. So the tailbone is moving down and lifting up slightly in the lower abdomen area. And then just allowing the hands to relax loosely by your sides, give them a little shake out. Check that your shoulder blades are moving down the back of your body, far away from your ears. Tuck the chin back towards the throat, feeling length in the back of the neck. Close your mouth. Allow the tongue to rest on the roof of the mouth with the tip of the tongue resting against the back of the upper teeth. And now for a moment, close your eyes and bring a smile to the corners of your mouth, relaxing, releasing any tension in the face as you smile. And beginning our practice today with a few abdominal breaths. Breathing in and out through the nose, the mouth stays closed, the face is relaxed, the breath is soft and smooth and silent. There should be no huffing and puffing, no effort or strain. As you breathe in, feel the lower abdomen expand as though you're blowing up an imaginary balloon in the belly. And as you breathe out, feel the abdomen shrinking, exhaling through the nostrils. Breathing in clean, fresh, energizing qi or air to nourish and heal the body and mind. And breathing out, exhaling any sensations physically or emotionally that you don't want in your body. So that could be physical tension, stiffness, or discomfort. Or it could be emotional anxiety, sadness, anger, fear, overwhelm. So letting go of anything you don't want with each exhalation and replacing that with clean, fresh, energizing qi as you inhale. And keep going with that breathing now. And just slowly open your eyes so that you can see me. So we'll start with the first exercise, which is a movement. This exercise is called grasping the feet with two hands, and it's one of the exercises in the 8 pieces of brocade sequence, which is a really famous set of Qigong exercises, also known as the Ba Duanjin. So those of you who are members of my Space to Relax program, you have this in your membership area in far more detail. And for this exercise, I'm going to show you a few variations because it involves a forward fold, a forward bend. And obviously with a forward bend, this would be not a good idea for anybody who suffers with lower back problems to go too far. It's also not good if you drop your head down below the level of your waist if you suffer from high blood pressure or dizziness of any description. And also anyone who suffers with osteoporosis, especially of the spine, then forward bends are not a good idea. So we're going to start with a really simple, tiny movement. And so if you have any of those conditions, I just want you to stick with that and absolutely do not go beyond your own range of what is available to you, and you will know that if you have one of those conditions. And then we'll move on. For those of you who feel a little bit more flexible, lower back and back of the legs wise, we'll move on to the full exercise. So we'll start with the movement, and all I'd like you to do is just bring your hands to your lower belly to make a triangle with your thumbs and your index fingers. So the hands are flat on the lower belly. The elbows are nice and relaxed, shoulders nice and relaxed. So there is no tension in the arms. So for this exercise, I'll show you the movement first, and then we'll put the breath and the mind with it. So the movement is just to slide the hands around towards the back of the body. So I'm going to turn around and show you where they end up. So the fingers are pointing down, the shoulders are nice and relaxed. And from there, you then come back around to the front or towards the front of the body. But when you hit the hips on the sides, what you're going to do is just slide the hands down to drop the shoulders, slide the hands down the sides of the thighs, and then very slowly and gently come forwards, hinging at the hips. So coming forwards, and again, I'm going to show you from the side. So as you come forwards, you're hinging at the hips, so keeping the back straight, keeping this lovely integrity in the lower back area. What you want to avoid as you come forwards is rounding in the back like this. That's going to damage your lower back. So keeping the back straight, hinging from the hips and thinking of the sit bones or the hips moving backwards in this direction. And at the same time, you straighten the legs. So you're coming down and just come to this position for now. Bring the hands around to the fronts of the thighs. And then again, straightening up, being very solid in the legs, drawing the hands up the insides of the legs and back to this lovely triangle position again. So again, just making that a bit more fluid now, moving the hands around to the back. And from here, if you know that your lower back is good and that it's strong, then just bend a little backwards, opening in the chest, tiny little back bend. Again, I'll show you from the side. So going back. And then straightening up and dropping the hands down the sides of the thighs. And from this position, try not to look forwards like this because you're actually creating a lot of compression in the back of the neck. So you want to keep the neck straight and in line with the spine. So looking down slightly towards the ground, coming around and back up again to your triangle position. So one more time, nice and fluid and smooth. Coming around, little back bend if you're able. Coming back down, sides of the body. Legs are straight, looking down towards the floor. And then coming back up to your triangle. So that is the movement if you feel that you can't go down any further, you don't have so much flexibility or strength in the lower back, and also if you suffer with any high blood pressure or osteoporosis. Now, stick with that movement if that is you. But if you feel like you can go a little bit further down towards the ground, I'm going to show you the full movements now. So just go as far as you know what is available to you at any particular time, because this could be different for you from one day to the next. So starting with the triangle in front of Dantian in the lower belly, coming around and little back bend. And then coming down, so straightening the legs now and coming all the way down, keeping the back as straight as you can. You will have to round the back at one point, all the way down the outside. Allow the head to drop down, give the head a little shake out, just to check that it's nice and loose and relaxed. The hands come around the tips of the toes to the insides of the feet. At this point, bend the knees, pushing down into the feet and come all the way back up the insides of the legs, keeping the head down. Head is the last thing to pop up, dropping the shoulders, and you have this lovely triangle again. So coming around, little back bend, all the way down, only rounding in the back at the very last minute. Down the outside, around the toes, bend the knees, and up the inside. So this movement is helping to open up and create conditions for open and smooth, free flow of chi through the bladder channel, which runs down the backs of the legs, down the gallbladder channel, down the sides, and then up the kidney channel. So it's benefiting kidney, bladder, gallbladder, and the waist area as well, the whole of the lower back. So one more time with the full movement. And again, if you want to go even further with this, as you come around the back, for the back bend now, you can open the arms out if you so wish. Then coming back to the back of the body and down. Around the toes, bend the knees and up. Okay, so you now have either the smaller movement or the larger movement to practice. And we're going to put this together now with the breath and the mind. So with the breath, first of all, breathing in while the hands are in this triangle position. Breathing out, arms move back, little back bend. Breathe in, coming up to standing, and then breathe out, going down the sides of the legs. Bend the knees, breathe in, push into the feet. Breathing in, up to Dantian. Breathe out. Breathe in again. Breathe out, coming around to the back of the body. Breathe in, standing. And breathe out down the sides of the legs. Bend the knees, pushing into the feet, coming around the insides of the legs, breathing in, following a channel along the kidney pathway. Breathe out. Not forgetting to smile. One more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out, going down the sides of the legs. Bend the knees, breathe in, hands coming up the insides of the legs. And breathe out. So where is the mind for all of this? Okay, so as you breathe in, move the hands round, exhaling. And think of Dantian, so in the lower abdomen area, the whole of Dantian, mind is there. Breathe in, coming up, your mind is still in Dantian. And now, as you breathe out, think of sending Qi down through the legs, all the way down into the feet. Bend the knees. And now, before you come back up, breathing in, bring your mind straight back up to Dantian right now while you're still down there. And then drawing the hands back up, keeping the mind in Dantian in the lower belly. The reason for that being, if you do that and bring your mind straight back up from the ground to Dantian, before you come up with the physical body, it stops you from getting dizzy. So again, breathe in, breathing out, coming around to the back, thinking of Dantian. Breathe in. Breathing out, allowing Qi to flow down the legs into the feet. Bend the knees, mind comes back to Dantian now. Breathe in, coming up the insides of the legs. Breathe out. Last time, breathing in, breathing out. Think of Dantian. Let's try and make this movement as smooth as possible. Breathing in and breathing out. Qi moving down the legs into the feet. Bend the knees. Mind coming back to Dantian right now. Breathing in, up the insides of the legs. And resting at Dantian with your triangle. And now just allow your hands just to drop down by your sides. Closing the eyes for a moment. And paying attention to anything you notice in your physical body. Or mentally or emotionally how you feel as well. This is one of those exercises where, because you're coordinating quite a bit of movement with the mind and the breath, it really brings you into the present moment. You tend not to be distracted by extra mind chatter or anything like thinking about what you're doing for the dinner or where you're going shopping or what you have to do next. You're really focusing on where the mind and the breath are and coordinating that with the movement. And now just bringing one hand to rest over the lower belly with the other hand directly on top. Breathing into your belly. Using your abdominal breathing, in and out through the nose, mouth is closed, and smiling. And gently opening the eyes. So that exercise of grasping the feet with both hands can be done at a number of different physical levels. So go with the easiest one first. And then as you practice a little more, you might find that you can go a little bit further forwards. But do be aware that if you suffer with high blood pressure, with any blood pressure problems at all, with osteoporosis, or with anything else that causes you dizziness, then please don't bend all the way forwards. Don't allow your head to drop below waist level. You will still get the benefit from this exercise because you're still using the mind and the breath, which are the other two elements of Qigong. So that exercise is beneficial for the waist, for kidneys and bladder, which is really what we're focusing on today. It's because it's helping to open up the bladder channels down the backs of the legs. And so really on so many levels, it's beneficial. And I think you'll find if you practice this, maybe just reps of, say, maybe 9 at one time. I think we did 9 there with the movement, the breath and the mind, just 9 repetitions of that, and then move on to something a little bit more calming and relaxing in terms of movement. So the next part of the class today is from a lying down position, or you can practice this sitting. So I'm going to show you this. It's a little bit of breath work. So this practice is a breathing exercise, which can be helpful for bladder incontinence. And a study I read about this, I actually was reading about this exercise and thought, oh, I can really kind of weave in the Qigong breathing to this. This study was showing how breathing exercises and just calming the mind and calming the nervous system can really help with the improvement of bladder health and improving the condition of urinary incontinence. And I think it said in this report that people who practice this simple exercise for twice a day for 5 minutes each time over the course of 2 weeks noticed a difference in the urgency or the frequency of wanting to run off to the loo. I think it reduced from something like 42 times in a week down to 16 times in a week. So people were kind of logging how, that urgency to go. So it's definitely worth pursuing some breathing exercises to help to calm everything down, because bladder incontinence is often kind of geared around and exacerbated by stress and anxiety. So if we calm our minds by using some breathing, then that can really help. So you can practice this exercise either from a sitting position, as I am just now, sitting cross-legged, or sitting on a chair. Just make sure the back is up, your back is upright. Or you can practice it from a lying down position. If you'd like to lie down, I'll just show you that position now. So I've got a little blanket or a pillow here for my head, and then just coming around to the side with my knees bent, just lowering myself, using my hands, just lowering myself gently down to the ground. And then adjusting my body so that I have I've got the pillow just in under the head. My chin is tucked back towards my throat. So there's lovely length in the back of the neck and coming out to the top of the head. And from this position, you can either have your knees bent, feet flat on the floor. If so, the knees would be around hip width distance apart, or you can move the feet wider apart and allow the knees to fall in and touch each other. We covered this lying down position in the previous class last week, so you might want to refer back to the replay of that video on my blog page. You could also have the legs straight out in front of you if you prefer that, and maybe have a blanket or a bolster underneath your knees, whichever you prefer. So I'm going to take the pressure off my lower back just by having the knees bent and relaxing the knees back in towards each other. And I've got my hands just on my lower belly and practicing the abdominal breathing, breathing in through the nose, feeling the belly expand. So you'll feel the hands coming up, rising up towards the ceiling if you're lying down for this position. And then exhaling, feeling the hands and the belly sink back down towards the floor and your spine. So breathing in and breathing out. And each time you breathe out, thinking of your body melting into the floor, getting heavier, releasing any tension. So breathing in, hands rise, breathing out, melting into the floor. And we're going to use a couple of techniques with this breath. We're going to use some counting, and we're also going to use our mind and pay very gentle attention, no laser beam focus, otherwise you'll give yourself a headache, but gently observing the kidneys in the lower back, thinking of the bladder and the pelvic floor. So your mind is just in those areas. You're not moving them, you're not contracting anything, you're just bringing your mind to those areas. And now breathing in for the count of 3 and out for the count of 3 for 3 breaths. So when we're ready, breathing in, 1, 2, 3. Breathing out, 1, 2, 3. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3. Breathing out, 1, 2, 3. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3. Breathing out, 1, 2, 3. Now for the count of 4, breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now for 5, breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thinking of the kidneys, breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out, thinking of the bladder, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in, thinking of the pelvic floor, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out, thinking of the kidneys, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one for 6. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Melting down. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now just coming back to your regular breathing pace, whatever is comfortable for you. Bringing your mind to the kidneys, the bladder, and the pelvic floor. Breathing in, energizing those areas. Breathing out, melting down into the floor. Now thinking of Dantian, just that lovely breath, smooth, soft and silent, in and out of the lower abdomen. Bringing the hands together in front of you and rubbing the palms until they get really hot. Placing the palms of the hands over your eyes, fingers facing upwards. feeling the heat from your palms traveling through the back of your eyes into your mind to nourish it. And then giving your face a little massage to bring yourself back into the room, slowly and gently opening your eyes. And if you're lying down now, in order just to take the pressure off your back so you don't strain it, bend the knees if they're out in front, if the legs are straight out in front of you, so that the feet are flat on the floor. Roll onto your side. Stay there for a moment. And then use both hands to push yourself up to a sitting position. Bringing the feet around and gently coming back to sitting. So never come out of that lying down position too quickly, because you'll make yourself dizzy and you might strain something. So it's always nice to come out of any position as slowly as possible. So that's a simple breathing exercise where we're paying attention to the kidneys, the bladder, and the pelvic floor area, just to bring a little bit more qi into that area, to encourage the flow of qi through that area, but also to calm the mind and to calm the nervous system, which is often associated with urinary or bladder incontinence. So I hope you enjoyed that, and it's something that you can easily practice when you go into bed at night time. So I hope you enjoyed this last class before Christmas, everyone. As I said, if you would like to donate, this is your last chance. I want to buy a voucher for the nurses in my local intensive care unit, and 50% of the donation proceeds go to the nurses, the other 50% to the upkeep of my website. As always, if you have any questions, my email is janice@spacetorelax.com, so you can email me there, or pop a question into the Facebook group, which is Space to Relax Free Qigong Group. And if you would like to share this with friends and family, anybody that you might know who is suffering with bladder incontinence, then that would be fantastic. And please share the link to sign up for my online classes, because I will be back in January and I'd love more people to join us. The more the merrier. And as you can see, these classes are perfectly suitable for beginners. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the new year. If you enjoyed this Qigong lesson, then there are 4 things you can do right now. The first thing is to head over to my website, which is spacetorelax.com, and there you'll see that you can join up for a free 3-part video series. The second thing you can do is click the link next to this video to sign up for the live Qigong classes, as I teach these once a week. The third thing you can do is go over to Facebook if you're on Facebook and look for Space to Relax Free Qigong Group. That's my free group where you can post any questions, and please do join the group. And the fourth thing is, if you're watching this video on YouTube, then please hit the red subscribe button so that you don't miss any future videos from me. I really hope you enjoyed this lesson and look forward to seeing you in the next video.